Welcome, Mr. Joshi. Thank you for joining us. This year is said to be the year of economic slowdown globally. But the best part is, India remains at the brightest spot yet. In your opinion, how do you look at the marketing budget outlook in this year and also the year ahead? What is your prediction?
So, I'm very happy to say that I had originally predicted that we'll not come out of the pandemic so fast, but there has been a good bounce back, and 2021 was a good year. 2022 was a good year. It was the first year when digital became larger than television. This year also, while the first half has not been as aggressive as we thought, second half I'm very optimistic about, and there is clearly a double-digit growth that I'm expecting in the ADEX. And digital clearly is going to be leading that growth, which is quite obvious. And the year after, again, maybe about 7 to 8% growth is what I'm predicting at this point in time, but very difficult to say because the geopolitical situations are so complicated these days that you can't plan for more than a quarter at this point in time. But all going well, this is how it should be.
Do you somehow look that decision makers in marketing kind of restraining the budgets?
See, there is cautious optimism. So while they have the budgets, they want to be sure whether they want to spend it or not, because bottom lines are important, and they don't know about the situations that might suddenly happen. So which is why they are being cautious, and that's why in the first half the spends were not as much. Second half should see that, but we are never going to see a situation where we go back to the pre-pandemic domain where it was easy to spend. Things are going to be difficult, and we have to be more ROI driven when we talk about budgets.
You have a very large bird eye view already on the industry. How do you look at the division between the digital and the legacy media already? We know that digital is already mainline in India, but we also know that TV has grown up, right? How do you look at it? Do you somehow see TV and print losing their shares?
I want to bet on connected televisions. So that's the intersection of digital and TV. And in my view, while it's small at this point in time, it's growing very fast. And it's a function. It's just a matter of time when the larger Bharat starts adopting CTVs. They've already started adopting the small screen, so I don't see any reason why they can't afford a larger television and have an internet connection on that. So I want to bet on that, and digital. So that's something that is digital, but at the same time gives you the classical television experience as well. Television will keep growing. Digital will also grow. Print has stagnated, but will still be used for tactical purposes by many of the organizations and categories like auto and others. So yeah.
Yeah, what is needed is the precise strategizing, the correct way. Yeah. In your point of view, how do you look at the role of CMO evolving, specifically with the advent of generative AI?
So I think a CMO has to be a CDO now, a Chief Digital Officer, and more than that, I think a Chief HR Officer, because both these things, as generative AI,
Maybe Chief Business Officer.
maybe Chief Business Officer, because as generative AI starts, changing the job domains. I'm not saying it will take away jobs, but the jobs will become difficult. HR will become even more important. So while digital is important, so would HR be. So a CMO will have to do the work of a CHRO as well as a Chief Digital Officer.
Good to know. Would you like to share but 3 prominent trends that are shaping up right now that will stay here for long?
So one is the rise of CTVs that I've already said. 2 is the fact that purposeful marketing will continue to evolve further.
True.
And I've been saying this in my presentations also. 3rd, millennials and Gen Zs are the ones that we need to crack, and that's a very big trend going forward. We still don't know how to crack them because unfortunately people who are planning are not Gen Zs and Gen X, but people like us are planning for Gen Zs and Gen X, and we don't really spend time with them. So So I make it a point to actually spend few hours every week with Gen Zs and Gen X to understand what these guys are doing.
On this note, what would be your one piece of advice to the young army of marketers that are coming up to lead the next gen of marketing?
I would say keep learning and unlearning. So a lot of classical marketing may not be relevant today, and a lot of new, in my view, the four P's have changed. They might still be the original ones, but programmatic advertising, programmatic marketing, performance marketing, participative marketing have become far more important. So we have to keep learning new stuff and unlearning the old techniques that are not relevant anymore.
Glad to know. This was really informative. Thank you so much, Mr. Joshi, for joining in.